After all that, every good deed is multiplied by 10 or more, while every bad deed remains as one bad deed. Even then, there is a delay before it is recorded, giving us space to seek forgiveness, and yet, we still end up in hell. We are indeed a stubborn servants. This life is not a novel, not like a novel written by humans. Humans may attempt to create stories, all sorts of stories. Sometimes we wonder why it's so sad. Even dramas are like that. Those are stories written by humans, acting as or trying to be God, creating characters, plotting the scenes and episodes up to the end of those stories. That is writers, not God. But Allah is the ultimate author, with wisdom beyond our understanding. God is fair and just. You all might know me recently from this meeting. This is my wife, sleep beside me every night. But still, she wouldn't know what's in my heart and mind, and vice versa. Allah knows each person better than anyone else, even more than we know ourselves. His decisions for each individual are rooted in wisdom, even if we cannot see it. For example, to our naked eyes, one might have been good for the rest of his life. Suddenly, why was he in hell? No such thing. Allah knows why the punishment. Allah knows why Abu Talib did not have faith, and why Abu Sufyan eventually embraced Islam. Allah knows what is in your heart even before you knew it. Allah knows who is truly stubborn or humble, even if two people make similar mistakes. This is why Allah forgave Adam, who showed humility, while Iblis was punished for arrogance. Sometimes we think life is unfair when observing the struggles of others. But Allah knows each person's inner state and past actions, even those hidden from others. Allah does not wrong anyone. He knows the heart and struggles of each person and understands why someone might turn towards or away from faith. Even someone who has lived a sinful life may turn to Allah sincerely in the end and be forgiven. We cannot judge because we do not know the private relationship that person might have with Allah. Allah sees what we cannot. He knows the emotions, regrets, and prayers of each individual. Allah is the all-knowing and perfectly just. We often find ourselves worrying about the action of others. However, it's important to remember that Allah knows the state of every individual. That's why we shouldn't be surprised by the hadith where a father instructed his children to burn his body after his death. Allah forgives him. Why did you tell your children to burn your corpse, O my servant? Fear of your punishment, my Lord. I forgive you. A story the Prophet, peace be upon him, shared about a man who ordered his body to be burned after his death out of fear of Allah's punishment. Though this action showed his misunderstanding, his fear was sincere, and Allah forgave him due to his genuine reverence. Scholars explain that although he acted incorrectly, his heart's fear and awe of Allah earned him forgiveness. In Islam, Allah is always portrayed as the merciful and compassionate. 114 chapters or surah of Al-Quran, all of it except one begins with the most merciful and the most compassionate. Scholars in Christianity have difficulties in syncing between the Old and the New Testament. In the Old one, God seems to be rather ferocious compared to the New Testament. In Islam, God is always consistent. The Quran is always consistent. When Quran describes heaven, it also mentions hell as reminders of Allah's mercy and justice. In every corner of the Quran, it is filled with the message that Allah is the most merciful and compassionate. No matter how much someone may stray, Allah is always ready to forgive those who sincerely seek His forgiveness. Consider the story of Prophet Noah, peace be upon him, who preached for 1,000 years to an evil and stubborn people. Despite his people's continuous wrongdoing, he still encouraged them to seek forgiveness, as Allah is the most forgiving. He said, "I said to them, seek forgiveness from your Lord, for He is the most forgiving." Not only that, but He not only forgives, but also provides for you. You commit endless sins. You seek forgiveness, and He forgives you and provides for you. He brings peace to life. For 69 years, you denied Him. On the day you say, "Oh my Lord, I seek your forgiveness. Forgive me, Lord." In fact, He says, they are the ones whose sins Allah has exchanged for good deeds. Imagine 20 or 40 years or more of disobeying Allah, and the day you regret it, He will not only forgive, but will also turn those sins into rewards, and He will admit you into His paradise, meaning that anyone who fails to enter paradise is, after all, every good deed is multiplied by 10 or more, while every bad deed remains as one bad deed. Even then, there is a delay before it is recorded, giving us space to seek forgiveness, and yet we still end up in hell. We are indeed a stubborn servants. If we reflect on our lives, we see how blessed we are to have been created and given the chance to experience life and seek Allah's mercy. His mercy is vast. A person who contemplates life will realize that life is truly beautiful, and we are extremely fortunate to be born into this world.
Thank you for watching.